Hello everybody, welcome back to another game of Hearts of Iron 4, and today we'll be visiting the New Order Last Days of Europe. We are going to observe a game of TNO, and of course if you guys like this kind of content, if you prefer this new change, don't forget to like and subscribe, and of course share this to your friends. Without further ado, let's get into it. I mean, as we all know, we know what happens in TNO. This is like the top Germany wins World War II mod. So we have here the German Reich. We have their commissariats. Okay, so let's see what happens in the world. So now we've got a collaborationist victory in Malaya. So the Japanese have defeated the Malayan uprising, and an assassination attempt at Hitler. Hitler's successor seems to be Martin Bormann, head of the party, I think. Well, we'll see who wins the Civil War later on next year. For those of you wondering, this is what the world faction map mode looks like at the start of the game. We have a really large co-prosperity sphere here in Asia. The Vietnamese, how do you say this? Nguyen Dinh Diem staying in power, taking control of the government in the Empire of Vietnam. We have a Viet Minh up here, under Ho Chi Minh, up in the north. The Turkish government has crushed the spring protests. Now coup in the western frontier, that's in Pakistan, I think. The Muslim League has taken over, and the Colombian president has died. But the thing is, Colombia is in a state of civil war at the moment between three rival factions. Bogota, the Independent Party, has just won in Laos. They are paternalistic conservatives, and I think a socialist had just won in Australia. There's some raiding going on here between Sverdlovsk and Tomsk, and it ended. I'm not sure who won though. Odria has just won the Peruvian election. The Catholic Church denounces Trujillo of the Dominican Republic. He's a fascist, part of the triumvirate. Brazil has won the World Cup. The Reichskommissar of Ukraine had just been injured from a bomb. And Colombia had just experienced a military coup by Gustavo Royas Pinilla. So Guido has just been appointed president of Argentina. He is a liberal radical. Ooh. And the triumvirate, Italy's faction, has just collapsed because of an incident between Italy and Turkey, which will erupt into a regional war in the Middle East, actually. Che Guevara has been released from prison. There's the war in the desert. Turkey declared war on the Levant, the Lebanese Republic, Transjordan, and Palestine. Now the Italians will send aid. Let's check the troops. Okay, and now Burgundy has launched a nuclear weapon. It looks like the Italians are pushing. They've already captured Palmyra, Homs, Aleppo. Damascus has fallen too. Hama will fall soon, and maybe not long after, Aleppo would also fall to the Italians. Meanwhile, in Iraq, the charismatic Abd al-Karim Qasim has just tested the Turkish position in Kurdistan, and they've won out. They've conquered Kurdistan, well, parts of it. This is a terrible state for Turkey, but it looks like things have stalemated down. The Italians have mostly their invasion, and now Italy is leasing Galindez Island from Argentina. I don't know where that is. Okay, so they're in Antarctica now. The Vorkuta labor camp has defeated the thief territory of Ugra. The Duce Siano now considering his options, or he might be overthrown in the Council of Fascism. Valery Samblin is being routed on several fronts. He's losing up here, he's losing here, and maybe Yagoda might snuff him out. Yup. No, wait. There he is, he won. He just won the struggle against Yagoda. But will he win in Siberia? We don't know. A Lan-American Congress of Fascist Youth had just ended in Paraguay. More offensives in Syria, and Italy has just won in the Middle East. We got a Syrian national state under Italian protectorate, and a Jerusalem conference. Somebody has just won on the Malayan elections. He is a paternalistic conservative. And now South American Marxists are meeting in Uruguay. We're in 1963, our first year in this whole game. What a year, huh? This will be the craziest of the years. This is when all the civil wars happened. The Italian Levant has been partitioned. We've got the establishment of Palestine and Israel. A Malagasy uprising in Madagascar. So this is the rebellion. We've got the military government of Emil Maurice. And yeah, in the middle, anarchy. And now the first super event, the Yasuda crisis. Where's the song? Right, they're copyrighted. The Malagasy uprising is in full swing. The Puerto Plata invasion had just happened. So a Caribbean legion, an army of anti-fascist volunteers, have landed in Puerto Plata up here. The Caribbean Legion, social nationalists, and the JLO. So that's a civil war in the Philippines. Let's check who's winning. The communists aren't doing so hot in the north. There it is. The Revolutionary Front has been defeated by the pro-Japanese forces. Now the pro-OFN forces are also being wiped out. Maybe this is a sign for the things to come. And the 22nd of April incident in Turkey. To win the war down here in the Middle East, the Kemalist Youth and the Military Academy has marched on the Grand National Assembly. And now they are trying to strangle democracy with their radical ideology. And what is this? I think that's a military coup in Argentina. Yep. Benjamin Menendez has taken over. And now Showdown and La Escobar, which is left-wing groups. No. Oh, it's just more trouble in Uruguay. Some rare war from Siberia. The Central Siberian Republic of Tomsk has declared war on Kemerovo. With the invasion of the Dominican Legion, an interim government has been formed between Horacio Ornes and Sky. And the Second Philippine Republic unites the Philippines, and a failed Baloch state becomes a united Pakistan. And now there is a war between Kampuchea and... oh, it's a northern insurgency for Kampuchea. President Yulo just got assassinated, and now it all goes to the National Assembly. It hasn't even been a month since he took power and united the Philippines. In Bolivia, there is an election resulting in the victory of this guy. I think G's are pronounced as H in Spanish, but I forgot. And a coup in Paraguay. The Tomsk invasion has not been going very well. They are being beaten by the Siberian Eagle in Novosibirsk. And martial law has been declared in Kampuchea. Where is the world heading to these days? We got a new prime minister in Japan. We've got Kaya Okinori and powder keg in Chile following the resignation of the previous president. No, wait, no, this is the guy. Following land reform. And he's resigned. Yeah, he could not handle the national crisis. Verona conference has just ended, together with the leading figures of the Italian nation. Now we have Carlos Scorza. He has outflanked his predecessor. Okay, a new king in Egypt, well, regent. And Novosibirsk seems to be wiping out all their competition here in Central Siberia. Back to the Dominican, we've had a new interim government. The country is once more unified, and maybe democracy might come to this small island. Magadan has just the Pacific Soviet fleet. And now Mikhail II, the Romanovs, are at it in their quest for national unification, and the divine mandate has come south to pray their way to victory. This is what the world looks like as 1963 comes to an end. Adolf Hitler is dead. Albar assumes leadership in Malaya. Syed Jafar Albar. He is a pro-Japan candidate, it seems. A national uprising in Serbia and authorities collapsing quickly in Germany. Forces loyal to the different Führer candidates are rising up, and now we have civil. We got Bormann down in the south. We got Speer in the north. We got Göring in Prussia and Heydrich in little pockets everywhere. The Schutzzone in Germania has been protected by Hans Spiedel, general government, and the Polish army. The new Prime Minister in Indonesia, we've got Ruslan Abdul Ghani taking over. He's a revolutionary nationalist and I think a member of the PNI. The German hegemony is just collapsing all over the place, and now it's devolved into a conflict in South Africa between the Bloemfontein government and Cape Town. It now looks like they've requested aid from the Rijkscommissariats. And the African National Congress is at arms too. A lot of news coming out. The Eastern Territories have been a total mess, and a nationalist uprising here in Britain to free themselves from fascism. It's really hard to tell. Oh, the resistance has just won out in Britain after a short brief war with the pro-German forces. Meanwhile here, Speer has taken over East Prussia from the SS. And it seems like the SS's time on this world are very limited as they're about to lose. War in Macedonia. Oh, the Philippines, I think. Yeah, we got a new president for the Philippines. Congratulations. And the old general goes to war with the party. The Ustashi have taken over in Croatia, hoping to use this chaos to restore their national political project. Sablin is on a roll right now. He just defeated Chita. That's the Romanovs. Romanovs in the east. There are Romanovs in the west over here in Vyatka. But that's one Romanov out. And we're in 1964. Buryatia is going after Magadan, two pretty successful leaders in the east. And Dragomir Jovanovic has taken over in Serbia. Bormann seems to be winning out here in the Civil War. And US President Richard Nixon has declared an emergency over South Africa. It is looking very terrible over here. The National Congress is in Durban. They've lost most of these states. Bormann's forces will be sieging Bremen soon, putting an end to Speer's war. And that's... Goering is also out. There it is. Only a few months of civil war and Bormann has come out on top. Now he looks eastwards. We have a new chief in Guangdong, Morita Kyo. He is part of Inseha. Bormann wins the German Civil War. And now the Afrikaner state is winning completely. Brazilian President Lot has resigned in favor of his opponent, Hanio Quadros. And the South African War had just ended in complete OFN defeat. So absolutely terrible, by the way, for the OFN. They just lost an ally down there. And now Nguyen Diem has abolished the Vietnamese monarchy. It is a republic now, no longer an empire. And with the victory of the Free British Army, there's a standoff in the English Channel between the OFN and the Einheitspact. Bormann wants Britain to stay within their orbit. But the British and Americans want a free base in Europe. Will they get it? And the Italians are invading Croatia after the rise of the Ustashi. And supposedly there's a deal reached over Britain. Let's see. The world is relieved as the Channel crisis, one of the tensest confrontations in the Cold War has seen thus far, has been successfully resolved as the Germans, British, and the US have come to an agreement. In exchange for German acceptance over Britain's new status, America will pledge to refrain from involvement in a defined group of European countries. A security zone is to be established in English areas facing the continent, and American nuclear weapons will be prohibited. So Germany will now have territories here. I don't know if that's even a victory or just a launching point for an invasion, but I guess whatever makes peace. We got a new president in France, Pierre Puget. He's a fascist, and here's the Italian invasion of Croatia. And the Rijkscommissariat Ukraine has won out in the struggle. The Africa Shield has just been broken, and now only one man remains in here. We've got Hans Hüttig on his way to invade the Afrikaner Volksstaat. Rojas has won the election in Colombia, and Germany restores control over Central Europe. Everyone's rejoining the Einheitspact. Got a new prime minister in England. Croatia has been reinvaded. Now I think Bormann sets his eyes towards the lost conquests. Prime Minister of India has died, Jawaharlal Nehru, replaced by VK Krishna Menon. And war in Siberia. Sverdlovsk has done a great job wiping out the northern warlords here. in the Urals. A lot of events have appeared today. So we have a new caretaker president in Thailand. We have a reformation of Dutch basic laws in Suriname, and the president of of Haiti has just been assassinated in a Paraguayan coup. And now there's peace talks in South Asia between the Azad Hind government and the Republic of India. Samara had just conquered Vyatka, which means the last remnants of the Romanovs are ousted from Russia. This some handovers, Chilean Antarctic Institute. We got a Komi Soviet Republic declaring war on Samara under Vladimir Arstezo, and finally Sverdlovsk goes after Omsk. It's still anybody's game here. Yoriga confirmed. Magadan is now fighting a two-front war, and Buryatia has won out. President Kennedy has just been assassinated in America, replaced by John McCormack, and then an election. Things are going chaotic here in America, and we have a new Reichskommissar in Moscow. Argentina has joined the OAS, and Samara has defeated the Aryan Brotherhood. So now it's just the West Russian Revolutionary Front against Samara. I mean, the committee, the ROA. Germany is back in Antarctica. Where's Neuschwabenland? Which of these guys are playable? I don't know. There's a general uprising here in Haiti. The Haitian Revolutionary Front has taken up arms against the OFN government. They're communists. They're just fighting all over. And now there's a government military coup in Haiti itself. In Port-au-Prince. Port-au-Prince. Tokyo Olympics have come to an end. And Samara seems to be doing really well against the West Russian Revolutionary Front. That I'm a bit surprised. Omsk does not stand a chance here. Salvador Allende has taken over in Chile. I think that's the red wave here. And the Haitian revolutionaries have been defeated. We got several pinks. Red here. We got red over here. Now they're going after Kalashnikov in Zlatoust. Meet Dragunov. And a new president in Mexico. We got Lozano. And Valery Sablin has unified the Russian Far East. Meanwhile, in Indonesia, we've had a military coup. Martial law declared by Sukarno. The reasoning here is because of recent events and maybe a inability to deal with parliament. The Revolutionary Front is pushing Samara back in certain areas. It seems like they're going for a major strike on their capital here in Samara itself. Yeah, that's Lenin City. Novosibirsk has taken out another person. So I think the way it is, it's gonna be Sablin, Novosibirsk, Sverdlovsk under Batov, and then here would be the Revolutionary Front. These guys might just peacefully unify with Batov. These guys are going to war. I don't know who'll win though. The Italian state has lost control over Horn, and LBJ elected US president. Let's see how well he can do. The previous administration has been a flop in foreign policy. They lost South Africa, but I guess they did gain the British Isles, so that's something. Although, I didn't think they would have a peace agreement. There it is. Bormann is marching eastwards. He's already capturing territories in Ostland, going after these dissident commissars. And the Siberian Black Army is on its last legs. That's another Reichskommissariat conquered. And a battle between OFN soldiers and Nazis in New Swabenland. Oh, wait! Boris Yeltsin and a civil war in Indonesia. So we have President Sukarno declaring martial law, then some of the regions have declared their own independence. Here, siding with the new government of Hatta, wherever he is. There he is. Muhammad Hatta. It is the Front Indonesia Merdeka versus the NKRI. The Jakarta central government. Here we've got socialists in Surakarta. I'll look at this once the civil war starts. And Samara has just defeated the West Russian Revolutionary Front. and Subhas Chandra Bose has failed to recover, which is now a war. So we've got Chatterjee and Shastri in a war. Azad Hind versus the Republic of India, the Indian crisis. Assuming, okay, this is a chance for President Lyndon B. Johnson to support one of their allies in the Far East, and time for the Japanese to maintain their hold. A lot of news. South Africa has completely collapsed into a civil war, but now it looks like Africa, German Africa, is just completely collapsing as well. The Germans have invaded South Africa once more under Oberkommando Südafrika. They've just defeated another army. They defeated the Defense League in the north. And workers are rising up in central Siberia. Will this engulf the Central Siberian Eagle? In other news, we've got some military changes here in the Dominican. The interim government has become a new republic. Haiti remains nominally with the OFN, and LBJ is trying to form task forces. Right now, the war is in favor of Azad Hind, and Pakistan has just intervened. They're now at war. It's a two-front war against India, which means Azad Hind might actually just push through until they capture New Delhi. Yeah, it's a full rout here in the Eastern Front. Meanwhile, the Western Front's a bit of a slog. Seems like the government in New Delhi just can't keep up with this. It's a complete collapse on the front. Pakistan has captured most of the territories they want, and if New Delhi falls, that might be it for Shastri and the heirs of Nehru. New Delhi has fallen. And just as the civil war in India rages on, Indonesia has turned into an all-out civil war, with Jakarta quickly wiping out the rebellion in Java. Meanwhile, out in the islands, it's a bit more contested. Hatta's base of operations in Bukit Tinggi will fall soon. So has, yep, it's a complete rout. And Azad Hind had just won their war in India. And they've rejoined the co-prosperity sphere, while Pakistan joins the Unity Pact. And just like that, Hatta has surrendered. The rebels didn't last that long. Oh, it's back to Sukarno then. Meanwhile, in South Africa, the Zulu Xhosa alliance is holding off against this German invasion. Meanwhile, Hans Hüttig's reign isn't holding on too well. We got an independent Macedonia, independent from Bulgaria. And looks like another one was out. That was Eswatini. The Workers' Federation is actually holding out pretty well, and soon they might just march towards Novosibirsk. The Siberian Eagle has tanks. They've got armored cars. They've got veteran mountaineers. Meanwhile, the workers have only... They've got stuff. They've got support here. So to review 1965, we have another defeat for the OFN. They lost their ally in South Asia. They lost an opportunity to thwart Japanese hold over Indonesia. Meanwhile, the Unity Pact has gained a new ally here in Pakistan, and yeah, that seems about it. The OFN did remain in Haiti though, but the Dominican, who knows? Maybe things will go wrong in Dominica. Cuba has maintained its institutional despotism under Fidel Castro, and that's the end. It's the end of the Second South African Civil War. So an incident has just erupted in Chile, and a pro-OFN revolution has failed in Uruguay. Meanwhile, most of the Mediterranean seems to be quite stable, especially after the radicals took power in Turkey. Like, everyone's just stable. A Christmas war. And a new prime minister in Afghanistan. That's war between Argentina and Chile, between the liberal president and Salvador Allende. And Lacerda has been elected in Brazil. The Ulster Volunteer Force, what we just saw, was defeated by the Republic of Ireland, who is an OFN, a pact observer. Got American troops stationed here in Britain. And Murmansk has declared war on the Finns. Will the Russians intervene in this? No, they're too busy doing 1984 and a warlord insurrection in China here. The NPA and Pakistan has declared a constitution, renaming themselves the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. with their capital down south in Karachi. They've also captured Hyderabad. Meanwhile, in Hindustan, nothing's going on. Fianna Fáil has won the Irish elections, and the president of Haiti has consolidated control over his rule, a pro-OFN dictator. Is that Guantanamo Bay? It is. And Russia has intervened in the Murmansk-Finnish War. Immediately that's conflict in Onega. The Russians are being pushed back heavily. Finland is pushing hard into Murmansk, while the capital itself is under siege by the Finnish army. Meanwhile, the Russians cannot push into Onega. If anything, it seems like Onega is pushing into Russia. Murmansk has fallen, and now the Finnish army is repositioning itself. And a military takeover in Bolivia under Artuno's dictatorship. And the warlord insurrection in China has just been launched. Let's see, how well can Nanjing hold? Kunming launches its insurrection. A return to, well, if we want to, invoke the traditions of the past, this is like the inheritors of Sai restarting their war against Yuan Shikai. Except here we have Gao Zhongwu. A treaty has fallen between Brazil, Paraguay, and Argentina. And the Reich's Greater African Reich has facing some internal instability right now. Angola is up in arms. Zimbabwe too. And England has just triumphed in the World Cup. And the Siberian workers have defeated the Central Siberian Federation, which means they might just join the Far Eastern Soviets. Meanwhile, in China, the National Protection Army fails to push out of Guizhou. Now they're being pushed back. They haven't even gotten into Hunan province, nor in Sichuan. Just a terrible outcome for the NPA all around. Of course, this is a result of Gao Zhongwu's secret army, which he's been testing out. There it is, the first steps to the African collapse. Angola has declared independence, same with Zimbabwe. A full-blown civil war had just erupted in Colombia. Rojas Pinilla under the OFN. We've got the Second Patriotic Army. We've got the Revolutionary Union, who the Americans have decided to support. And New Granada, who are supported by Paraguay, Japan, and Italy. Let's see, who will win this civil war? Seems like a battle in Bogota. The central government's not winning. I don't think so. Most of their troops are here. They're being pinned down on all sides. I'm putting my bets on New Granada, I think. Yep, and that's first side defeated. A failed military coup in Ecuador. The Revolutionary Union is being pummeled. And now a new president in Ecuador. And the Finns have defeated the Russians here in Murmansk. And Siberia has just devolved into several administrations. We got the Free Workers. We got a reformed Siberian Socialist Republic. We got the Peasants Union, and we got the Workers' Federation. And Gao Zhongwu has defeated Long Yun's insurrection. Surprisingly. No, not surprisingly. Nobody's surprised. The Reichsstadt in Africa has just collapsed. And the Second Patriotic Army has defeated the Revolutionary Front. Now it's between the Second Patriotic Army and New Granada. There's a large international coalition supporting New Granada, but for some reason they don't seem to be doing too well. They're being pushed on all sides. They're retreating. Organization is super low for New Granada. It's like the Second Patriotic Army will win. That's another offensive, that's another push. Soon enough they'll capture Cali, and that's the final push. If Cali surrenders, that's the whole project. Yep. The Second Patriotic Army is just won out. And this is what Africa looks like collapsed. The Germans remain here. and in South Africa. Because after this video was getting a little bit too long, I'm gonna have to cut it short here. We'll end it off with the collapse of Africa, the Civil War in Colombia, and the time before the Russian unification. Part 2 should be uploaded immediately after, which will have the world all the way until 1972. So be sure to check that out as well.